Hello everyone, welcome to Biomix Hub. Today we will be discussing about the most important concept of CSIR Life Science questions. And today is our first part in which we will be discussing about the plant physiology unit. And today's topic will be about the phytochrome. Through the question we will be discussing about this topic. Now our first topic is about phytochrome, which comes under the topic photomorphogenesis. Now, what exactly is photomorphogenesis? It means when we break this term into two parts, that is photo and morphogenesis. Photo means light and morphogenesis means proper growth and development of a plant. So, in presence of a light, plant will show its proper growth and development. Photomorphogenesis is divided into three parts. Of which the first one is phytochrome. Second one is cryptochrome and the third one is phototropins. These three are divided according to the type of wavelength or type of light it is absorbed. Today we will be discussing about the phytochrome. What exactly is phytochrome? Phytochrome is a photomorphogenic pigment and it absorbs red and far red light, and sometimes it also absorbs blue light, and it is responsible for the photomorphogenesis of a plant, that is for proper growth and development. Phytochrome has two interconvertible forms. They are the PR and PFR. PR means phytochrome red and PFR means phytochrome far red, and these two are interconvertible. The PR is absorbed in 666 nanometer and PFR is absorbed in 730 nanometer. During the day condition, PR will be converted into PFR. These two are under interconvertible form, and the conversion of PR into PFR takes place in a fast way during the daytime, and during the night time the PFR is converted into PR, and it is a slow process as compared to the conversion of PR into PFR, and during the daytime the concentration of PFR is more. So for solving our question, we have to familiar with some of the terms, of which the first one is COP1. COP1 is a constitutive photomorphogenic one, and it is a E3 ubiquitin ligase. We have to understand the term ubiquitin ligase. Ubiquitin means a tag which is responsible for the degradation. Whenever a ubiquitin tag is added into a target protein, it will be destructed through 26S proteasomal degradation. Now, we will see its presence in case of a dark and in presence of a light. During the dark condition, the COP1, which is a E3 ubiquitin ligase, it is present in the nucleus, and during the light condition or during the day, the COP1 is present in the cytoplasm. Now, we will discuss about the third point, which is about the Hi5. Hi5 is a transcription factor which is responsible for photomorphogenesis. It is present inside the nucleus. During the day condition or in presence of a light, the level of Hi5 increases, and during the dark condition or during the night, it declines. With these 4 points, we can solve our question. Yes, we can add another factor, that is SPA1. SPA1, it will be attached with the COP1 inside the nucleus, which will be responsible for holding the Hi5, which is a transcription factor. Now, with the help of the diagram, we will see the mechanism in absent and in presence of a light. Now, in case of a dark condition, the COP1 is present inside the nucleus. It will be attached with the Hi5. When it is attached with the Hi5, as COP1 is a ubiquitin ligase, it will add ubiquitin tag upon Hi5, which is a transcription factor. When ubiquitin is added to the Hi5, it will undergo 26S proteasome. proteasomal degradation, by which the hyphae will be degraded. As hyphae is degraded, it cannot act as a transcription factor, so it will not move inside the DNA where the gene is needed to be transcribed. So further transcription will not take place, due to which photomorphogenesis genes will be not produced. As photomorphogenetic genes are not produced, there will be no photomorphogenesis. That means the plant will not show proper growth and development in the night condition or during the dark condition. Now we will see the condition in presence of a light. Now we have discussed that the PR is converted into PFR during the day condition, and it is a fast process. There are two conditions in presence of a light. The first one is the COP1, which was attached with the hyphae, will now be transported from the nucleus to the cytoplasm, and it is a slow process. As COP1 is moving outside the nucleus into the cytoplasm, now the hyphae, which is a transcription factor, will be free. As it is free, it will be placed in the genes, in the DNA where the gene is needed to be transcribed. It will act as a transcription factor, which will help for further transcription to take place. As transcription is taking place, the genes which is responsible for photomorphogenesis will be produced, due to which there will be photomorphogenesis. That means the plant can grow properly now. Now with this two mechanism we can solve our questions. Now let us have a look with the question. Now this is our first question. Phytochrome control of photomorphogenesis is linked to many other gene functions. The following statements are made on the mechanism of phytochrome action. These are all the action of phytochrome, from which we have to find the correct combination. The first point is phytochrome function requires COP1 and E3 ubiquitin ligase that brings about protein degradation. Yes, this is the correct statement. We need a COP1 and E3 ubiquitin ligase which will be responsible for protein degradation. Here the protein is the hyphae, which was acting as a transcription factor. So as the first option is correct, we can eliminate the second option in which we don't have the combination of A. Now we will see the B option, in which it has been written that COP1 is slowly exported from the nucleus to the cytoplasm in presence of light. Yes, we have also discussed about this point. It is true. As B is true, we can eliminate the fourth option in which we don't have B. With the help of the diagram, we will be clear about this point. Here see, it is in presence of a light, the COP1 is transported from the nucleus to the cytoplasm. It is transported outside from the nucleus and it is a slow process. Now let us deal with the other point. Hy5 is targeted by COP1 for degradation in presence of light. It is not in presence of a light, it is in the dark condition, or in absence of light, the Hy5 will be targeted by COP1, by which it will be degraded. From this, we can eliminate the first option. So, we are here done with our answer, that is third is the correct answer. We will also discuss about the fourth point, that is Hy5 is a transcription factor which is involved in photomorphogenic response. Yes, it is responsible for photomorphogenic response and it is acting as a transcription factor. With this, we are completed with our first question and we will see the next question. Here it is asking about COP1. COP1 protein and E3 ubiquitin ligase regulates the turnover of protein required for photomorphogenic development. Following are certain independent statements related to the function of COP1 protein. Here are some of the points of COP1 from which we have to find the correct combination. The first option is in light, COP1 along with SPA1 adds ubiquitin tag to a subset of nuclear protein, and it is the wrong statement. It will act as a ubiquitin in absence of light in the dark condition. We can eliminate the first point, by which the two options are incorrect. The first and second option are incorrect. Now, without reading the second option, we can be sure that it is a correct statement because it is common in both third and fourth option. Now, still we will discuss about this point. The protein ubiquitin by COP1 and SPA1 are targeted for degradation by 26S proteasome. Yes, it is also the correct statement. This statement tells that the COP1 and SPA1, which was targeting the protein, it was the Hi-5 protein. When ubiquitin tag was added, it will undergo proteasomal. This will undergo proteasomal degradation or 26S proteasomal degradation. So the B option is correct. Now we will be discussing about the third option. The third option tells us that in dark, COP1 is slowly exported to the cytosol from nucleus. It is the incorrect answer. It is taking place in the light. During the light condition, when there will be presence of PFR, it will enter inside the nucleus. With the help of the diagram, we will see this. During the light condition, when PR is converted into PFR, this PFR will enter inside the nucleus and it will bound with COP1. This PFR will bound to the COP1. So, the Hi-5 is now free as COP1 is bounding with the PFR. Now, this Hi-5 will act as a transcription factor by which further transcription can take place and photomorphogenesis will take place, due to which the plant can grow in a proper manner. So, this is the incorrect option, by which we can eliminate the third option. We now got the answer, that is the fourth one is our correct answer. Still we will be dealing with this fourth option. The absence of COP1 in the nucleus permits the accumulation of transcriptional activators necessary for photomorphogenesis development. This statement tells that if we don't have a COP1 in the nucleus, it will allow the transcription factor for photomorphogenesis to take place, and it is the correct option. By this, we have completed our 2 questions with one concept of photomorphogenesis. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.